This is a 190 Q&A practice test. Plaintiff attorney, Mr. Prince, capital P-R-I-N-C-E. Defense attorney, Ms. M.S. period Rios, capital R-I-O-S. And we'll start with defense attorney. Ready? Here we go. Did you remember you did that test down at the MVA where you put your head up at the thing and they checked your eyesight? Yes. You passed? Yes. Okay, you're going 35 to 40 before Mr. Burke comes in your lane, right? Yes. Okay, you did jam on your brakes prior to the collision, right? Yes. And as soon as you saw him coming in your lane, you hit the brakes? Yes. So the brakes were engaged on your car prior to the collision? Yes. But your car still collided with his vehicle anyway, right? Yes, yes. So his vehicle must have been going at a speed less than the 35 to 40 that you were going before you applied the brakes. Objection. Overruled. Can you answer that? I don't know how fast he was going. Could you describe the severity of the impact between your vehicles? It was light. My daughter had a seatbelt mark on her chest from going forward. So I will show you this defendant's exhibit number 2, plaintiff's exhibit number 2. Your testimony here today was that you didn't see the Honda, Mr. Burke's vehicle, at any time prior to the time he came into your lane, right? No. Okay, this first part of plaintiff's exhibit number 2, he's got your Dodge, which is the D, directly behind Mr. Burke's Honda with the H. Is that right? With your recollection? No. Is any of this diagram consistent of your recollection as to how the accident occurred? No, I would have seen the truck if it was right beside me. You would have seen the truck if it was right beside you. I don't have any further questions. Any other questions? Ms. Franks, at some point Mr. Burke's vehicle was right beside you as well, wasn't it? Beside me? No, not that I recall. It would have been in the lane to your right, true, ahead of me, but it was within a reasonable distance to your car, wasn't it? Yes. And you never saw that vehicle before the collision, did you? No. Nothing else, Your Honor? Nothing. Thank you, ma'am. You may step down. Thank you. That'll be the plaintiff's case, Your Honor. Okay. Can we approach? Yes. I keep forgetting about that mic. Should I turn it off, Your Honor? Well, we had one attorney who went to the restroom with it on. Must have been funny. It was, yeah. Okay. At this time, Your Honor, I would move for judgment on behalf of the defendant, Cindy Franks, on the ground that a prima facie case of negligence has not been made out against her. The evidence viewed in a light most favorable to the plaintiff would indicate that Mr. Burke was moving in his lane when, according to him, he was caused to jump out of his lane and move into the lane in which my client was going because, as he claims, a truck, Baltimore Tank Lines tanker truck, came into his lane very quick, causing him to just as quick shift over into the lane in which my client was moving and then being hit. There is no testimony of any negligence on the part of my client. The testimony indicates that this was a sudden quick movement by Mr. Burke for some reason without any signal of any kind, and the accident ensued. I think the evidence is such that the issue of my client's negligence has not been made out, and the court should direct a verdict in her favor. Response, Your Honor, this is just the same motion that was made at summary judgment. Okay, the argument is that based on looking at the evidence in the most light most favorable to Mr. Burke, there are some permissible inferences that can be drawn. For example, Ms. Franks says she was looking straight ahead, but she never saw the Burke vehicle or the tractor trailer. There was 10 feet in between the vehicles, but she wasn't able to slow to avoid it. It's interesting. You know how long, if you're doing 35, how many feet per second that is? Give me the question again, Your Honor. She said she was doing 35 to 40. Yeah. Use 35 miles per hour. It's 51.3 feet per second. Right, I was going to say 45. Yeah, but go ahead. But at a minimum, it makes a permissible inference. It is possible for the jury to make that determination, so it's enough to defeat a motion for judgment, Your Honor. Well, once again, I have to draw all inferences in favor of the plaintiff, so at this point, I will have to deny it. I'm also very happy I'm not the trier of fact in this one. That's why we're here. Do you have a motion? Okay. Are you going to call your client back or... Okay. Thank you. Call Ms. Franks, Your Honor. Ms. Franks, I'm not going to go through what we've already heard from you, but I would like to have a little bit of background for the jury's sake. You've said you live in Charlotte Hall, is that right? Yes. And you're married? Yes. And do you have any children? I have 3 children. What are their ages? 16, 15, and 8. And the 8-year-old, that's Chris, is it? Yes. And Chris was in the car with you at the time of the accident, right? Yes. Would you just explain to the members of the jury where you had been that day and where were you going at the time of the accident? We had been to Andrews Air Force Base, where we go for a medical treatment. My daughter ended up having an ear infection, so after the doctor's office, we headed back home to Charlotte Hall. So you had been up at Andrews to have her checked out, and you were, right, going back to your home in Charlotte Hall, right? Was this a route that you are familiar with? Yes. For how long have you lived in Charlotte Hall at the time? 2 years. All right. And as of that time, and even as of today, with what frequency would you use West Bean Road? At least 2 or 3 times a week. That's all I have. Thank you. Cross. None, Your Honor. No, thank you. Thank you, ma'am. You may step down. Thank you. That's the defendant's case, Your Honor. Okay, may I please the court, Your Honor? Defendant BTL would like to offer into evidence Defendant BTL's exhibits A through O, which we have already marked. Your Honor, at this time, we're offering into evidence Defendant's Exhibit A, B, C, D, E, F, I, J, K, L, and M. Any objection? Can I just take a brief second to look through them? I don't have any objection with these, Your Honor. Okay, they'll be received, Your Honor. We would like to call Mr. Quaid to the stand. Okay. Mr. Quaid, by whom are you employed? Baltimore Tank Lines. And what do you do for Baltimore Tank Lines? I pull fuel, oil, gas, tanker work. Okay, are you a CDL, commercial driver's license, Class A license driver? That's correct. Okay, how long have you been a professional truck driver? Almost 25 years, okay. And you lived here in Maryland all that time? All my life, yeah. Here in Charles County, yes. Well, it's St. Mary's County, okay. And are you married? Yes, I am. How long have you been married? Almost 20 years, okay. Got kids? Yeah, I got 4 kids. Yes, sir. Well, how old are they? One's 2, one's just getting ready. Go on. Go 6, and one's 18, and one's 17. Okay, I'm back in March 13th, 2006, which is the date that this accident is supposed to have occurred. Were you working for Baltimore Tank Lines at that time? That's right. Okay, now when you work for Baltimore Tank Lines, do you own any of the vehicles involved in that job? My tractor. You own the truck. My own truck. Okay, pull their trailer. Okay, so you're an owner operator lease. That's right. And did you own the tractor back on March 13th, 2006? That's right. What kind of tractor did you have? A 93 Peterbilt. Okay, how long had you had it as of March 13th, 06? How long have I had that? Yeah, how long had you had it as of March 13th, 06? About 3 years. Were you familiar with the vehicle? Yes. Any problems with the vehicle? No. Okay. And I guess you're pulling different tanker trailers every day. Yeah, they're about 40 feet long or so, so it's about 60 feet total. Yeah, about all the trailers are about the same. All right, we have a word list. MVA, capital M, capital V, capital A, all caps, no periods, no spaces. Burke, capital B-U-R-K-E. Honda, capital H-O-N-D-A. Dodge, capital D-O-D-G-E. Cindy Franks, capital C-I-N-D-Y, new word, capital F-R-A-N-K-S. Baltimore Tank Lines, capital B-A-L-T-I-M-O-R-E. Tank, capital T-A-N-K, capital L-I-N-E-S. Baltimore Tank Lines. Charlotte Hall, capital C-H-A-R-L-O-T-T-E, new word, capital H-A-L-L. Chris, capital C-H-R-I-S. Andrews Air Force Base, capital ANDREWS, capital A on air, capital F on force, capital B on base. Andrews Air Force Base. West Bean Road, capital WEST, new word, capital BEAN, new word, capital ROAD. West Bean Road, BTL, all caps, no periods, no spaces, BTL. Quade, capital QUADE. CDL, all caps, no periods, no spaces, CDL. Commercial driver's license, capital COMMERCIAL. Drivers, capital DRIVER apostrophe S, capital L on license. Commercial driver's license. Charles County, capital CHARLES, capital C on county. St. Mary's County. Saint is capital S, small t, period. Mary's, capital MARY apostrophe S, capital C on county. Peterbilt, capital PETERBILT. And that's it for the word list, and that will conclude our 190 Q&A practice test.